Today, we discuss the various functions of the Constituent Assembly. The functions of the Constituent Assembly are vital in shaping a nation governance and legal framework. So, here are the key functions typically associated with the Constituent Assembly. Number 1. Drafting a constitution. The primary function of the Constituent Assembly of India was to draft a constitution for the newly independent nation. This involved deliberating on various aspects of governance, including the structure of government, fundamental rights, directive principles, and distribution of powers between the center and the states. Number 2. Deliberating and debate. The assembly served as a platform for intense deliberation and debate among its members who represented diverse regions, communities, and political ideologies. This allowed for the consideration of different viewpoints and ensured that the constitution reflected the aspiration of the Indian people. Number 3. Inclusivity and representation. The Constituent Assembly of India aimed to be inclusive and representative of India's diverse population. Members were chosen from different regions, communities, and socio-economic background to ensure that all segments of society had a voice in the constitution making process. Number 4. Consensus building. The assembly engaged in extensive consensus building efforts to address contention issues and reconcile conflicting interests. This often involved compromise and negotiation to reach agreement on key provision of the Constitution. Number 5. Public participation. While the Constituent Assembly was composed of elected representatives, it also sought input from the public through various means such as public hearings, memoranda, and representation. This allowed ordinary citizens to contribute to the shaping of the Constitution. Number 6. Legal and constitutional expertise. The Assembly benefited from the expertise of legal luminaries like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who chaired the drafting committee, and other legal and constitutional experts. Their knowledge and insights helped ensure the Constitution adhered the legal principles and best practices. Number 7. Approval and adoption. Once the Constitution was drafted, it was subject to approval and adoption by the Constituent Assembly. The final text of the Constitution was debated clause by a majority vote of the members. Number 8. Transition planning. In addition to drafting the Constitution, the Constituent Assembly also played a role in planning for the transition to independence. This included decisions regarding the interim government, the partition of British India, and the framing of laws to govern the newly independent nation. Number 9. Safeguarding fundamental rights. The Constitution was drafted by the Constituent Assembly of India included provision for the protection of fundamental rights such as freedom of speech, equality before the law, and the rights to life and liberty. These rights were seen as essential for the ensuring individual liberty and democracy. Number 10. Establishing democratic institution. The Constituent Assembly laid the foundation for India's democratic institution, including the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government. It also established the framework for free and fair elections, which have been a hallmark of Indian democracy. Number 11. Amendment procedures. The constitution framed by the Constituent Assembly included provision for its own amendment, ensuring that it could be adapted to changing circumstances and evolving needs. However, the amendment process was designed to be rigorous to protect the integrity of for the constitution. Overall, the Constituent Assembly of India played a crucial role in laying the groundwork for independent Indians' democratic governance and legal framework. Its functions were instrumental in shaping the Constitution, which continues to serve as the guiding document for the world's largest democracy.